Camera rolling.
Camera 2 rolling.
Titties.
Audio speeding.
Everybody phone on vibrate?
Exactly, right? All right. So, first thing, I want you to introduce yourself.
Oh, shit.
But in a way where I need a 30-second. You know, you heard of the elevator pitch, right?
Yeah.
I need a 30-second or 15-second elevator pitch, including your name, and not about your business, but who you are.
Who I am.
Yep.
All right, so I'm pretty sure we're going to have a couple of takes of this, right?
We're going to see.
No pressure then.
Not at all.
I could
Not
just
at all.
talk.
Not at all. Oh, no. This is all just talking.
I wish you would have let me know this.
I purposely told no, I'm not going to be telling anybody any questions whatsoever.
That's kind of ass, Carl.
It is what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So we're going to get a couple takes.
No problem.
I'm trying to be comfortable right now. I'm really not.
That's good.
I'm not comfortable.
That's very good.
At least, Leo, make sure I look good, though.
You look great.
Okay. Like, not in a lame way, bro. Like, I gotta look good.
No, you look.
It's like the chicks gonna like the video.
You're like an entrepreneur, a businessman, a mogul.
Do I look handsome? Fuck all that shit. I'm talking about, like, what are you talking about?
I'm glad this is recorded.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying. Thank you, Joe. Right. Okay. Cool.
Worthy.
I just need someone to take a cut of like, fuck all that. Do I look good? That's the thing to start an interview.
It's like, well, cause if you look good like that, you should be fine.
Oh crap! I didn't give me the head, the hard drive, the red hard drive, and the boxes, and the two little Western Digital boxes. All right, that's enough time to think. Come on, that's enough time to think.
Well, you're asking me to go.
I am. Asking
I didn't
you to
know
go.
that. I was just sitting here.
No, I want you to go.
Okay.
30 seconds. Introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself as if we're on the elevator. Go.
Okay.
You look handsome.
Thank you. And I'm looking at you, not
Yes,
the
sir.
camera.
Looking at me,
Okay.
100%.
My name is. This is way more difficult than it looks, man. I'm trying not to say a lot, but my name is Kendall Kinmiar. Preferably like to be called Kinmiar. I'm a photographer in Chicago. I have a passion for art. My medium is photography. I'm a father of a 13-year-old superstar and, a son to a wonderful mother. And I like to move in my moral, I don't know the word that I'm looking for. I like to be authentically myself and surround myself with authentic people. And I kind of like just let that set the path for me as far as my relationships.
Okay, excellent. That's cool. Go ahead. So what put a camera, or what made you put a camera in your hand that you thought about it, whatever you want to call it, whatever?
Mm-hmm. Might be a semi-long story. I'll try to keep it short.
No problem.
When I got into the artist space, it wasn't as an artist, it was as an observer. I had a website called Hot Mice Media, and the purpose of it was to make connections with creatives, help them make connections with each other to do what they do, create. I honestly thought that I was going to manage creatives at some point, like whether not photographers specifically, but musicians or designers and stuff. That's what I thought I was going to do. I had an opportunity to cover a hair show that friends and family were doing. And the hair show, I was going to hire a photographer so that we can have pictures as I do an article on the hair show that we were going to do. And the photographer it was an event photographer. He kind of did me kind of bogus on the price. He went up on the price because he knew I was going to need him. We had made this agreement already to pay him like $150. And as being a photographer, I know that's not much.
But how long ago was that though?
That was, man, maybe
10 years ago?
Maybe 13 years ago.
See, so price points are different though.
Yeah,
price points have changed.
maybe 13 years ago.
Okay.
And he 2 weeks before, he hit me with, yeah, no, man, you gotta pay me $3 something. And I'm like,
So you doubled the price.
yeah. And I'm like, nah, man, that's kind of bogus. But instead of like dwelling on it, at this point, I was a person of action. I was like, well, I'll do it myself. And then one of my best friends, his name is Mike, he was over in Iraq, and I was telling him about my scenario, and he bought my Canon Rebel T3i while he was over in Iraq doing whatever he was doing for the States, and bought the camera for me and sent it to me in like 4 days. And then I used that time to learn how to use the camera, and I was like, well, the day of the event, I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. And that's why I started having a camera in my hand.
How the pictures turn out?
Man, well, so if I'm thinking about it now, not as good as what I could do now, but for not ever having a camera in my hand, they were phenomenal. Everyone loved it, and I used that to. It was just a confidence boost that I didn't know that I could get from that. I was like, oh, it's kind of neat. I thought that they were just gonna be pictures to show the event, but they ended up being a little bit more than that. And then I just started to ride that wave a little bit.
All right, cool. I like that. All right, so 13 years ago. Now let's fast forward to maybe 5 years ago. The audio doesn't. I don't care about the noise. Yeah, we can move around, whatever. Because did you put it on silent shutter?
No, I was trying to, but
Yeah, no, I don't care. I don't care about the clicks. None of that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's why I'm not even Mike. I literally only want my hollowness talking.
gotcha.
I only want him clear. Okay, so let's fast forward. So 13 years. At what point would you say you realized you were a good photographer? At what point did you say, okay, I'm dope. I'm good at this.
That's a very interesting question because
at 13 years ago, you didn't know what you were doing, just had a camera in your hand.
Yeah.
In retrospect, not so good.
And well, because then I was just toying around.
Exactly, right.
And just trying to figure it out, because photography isn't something that you do and then you do one thing and then you're good at everything.
That's true.
The journey of it is finding out what you like to do, and then once you find that, then get good at that.
Let's touch on that journey. Along that journey, at what point did you realize, okay, this is what I want to do?
Well, I think that maybe even a year after that, I realized that I wanted to do something with photography, but I didn't know what it was yet. And that was around the time, I met you. And funny enough, I won't stay on it. It took like a year for us out of the first contact to actually get to know one another. And within that space, I was trying to make connections and just figure it out. Just camera in my hand, let's shoot some fashion, let's shoot some beauty, not knowing what any of those terms even mean. Once I was able to get in the studio, we call it the shoebox, and you allowed me my no leash to just go learn. Just go learn. And that's what I did, and just trying to figure out those things. I think I lost track of the question.
No worries. Along the journey, at what point did you realize, okay, I like this, this is good? So let's touch on that. So like, in anything that I do with any people that I'm mentoring, training, any of the guys here or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll definitely give you some instruction on some stuff or help you do this, but I never want anybody to shoot like me.
Right.
If there's something specific that I want you to do, obviously do that.
Yes.
But in general, I want you to flow on and go, which is, remember a few years ago, I was like, you can't say I'm your mentor anymore. You can say I'm in business maybe.
Yes.
But no longer in photography. Because
Right.
some people be like, hold on, you shot, because look, even this photo, grab that photo. Even this photo, I want it in the camera, I want it in the shot.
I love that photo.
Yep. All right. So I don't know about the reflection. Can we see that in the reflection? I want to make sure the reflection's not too tight on it.
Not you heard right. Nope. Go back to the down. Yeah, you go.
Okay. So that photo, real quick.
When you step over, so you kind of like in the middle of the car, right there. There you go.
All right. So we see it good now.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So this photo So just today, like every month, someone comes in, oh, Carl, that's dope. You shot that? All the time.
Okay.
And I purposefully leave it up so I can say, nah, one of my guys shot that.
Okay.
Because that is something I would never do. If someone asked me to do it, hire me for whatever.
Yeah.
But that content and the way it's shot is very much you. So at that point, not wanting you to follow along in I wouldn't want you to do some corporate stuff just to do some stuff, but
absolutely.
like you following your footsteps, own footsteps, and moving in that was perfect. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate you, sir.
Appreciate you, Leo.
But to your point, that's what's good. So that's what I want you to answer.
Okay.
At what point were you like, okay, this is the route I'm going, and because I'm good at it, or I can be good at it.
Man, I think you might have to help me with the years.
Okay.
If you don't mind. It was.
You asking me about some dates? Go ahead.
It was when we were in the shoebox, and you shot. You were shooting.
Sierra.
You were shooting Sierra. You were shooting Sierra, and then and before that, I was working with like a friend who ran a magazine and just did some stuff. Was trying to do whatever.
I got you.
But you were shooting Sierra, and I remember you gave me the camera, and then you went in the other room.
I think I do remember this.
To talk to one of our other business associates.
So
right?
that had to be either. So it's definitely over 4 years ago because we've been here 4 years.
Way over 4 years.
No. So we've been here 4 years, and we were only there for a couple years.
And it might have been the first year we were there.
Okay, so that's probably 6 or 7 years ago. Then.
Yeah, and I had like 7 to 10 minutes with her, and we started shooting, and I had got something good, messing with just moving a light, and we got the shot, and I was like, oh, this is kind of like, Carl, take a look at this. And he was like, oh yeah, good job, man. Pat me on my back, but and I went home and edited it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I like it, and with that, I was like, I want to learn more, and then that's when I just started. I didn't do a lot of shooting. As everybody would tell you to do as a photographer, shoot more, shoot as much. I even tell my friends now, my homies sitting here now, that shoot as much as you can, experiment. I didn't get to do that. Everything that I learned was visual, looking at YouTube without putting any practice in. So that's when I'm learning like the numbers, put your light here, and the difference between butterfly lighting and Rembrandt lighting is and everything. And then when I was able to get into the studio, I was able to execute those at a higher degree than I would if I was just practicing all the time, because I knew where to put stuff. And the last shoot of that year, I did a hair shoot with my cousin Macy and Sheena Marie. And it was a Galaxy photo shoot. I might find a photo and give it to you so you can see it.
I have those photos actually.
The lighting on it was impeccable, and it was all because of what I learned off YouTube.
Excellent.
Had a hair light, dark backdrop, wanted it to look like the galaxy, like it was in space, and my cousin did a fantastic job on the hair. And that's when I knew that I had like some knowledge of something, and that's when I had the appreciation for light and editing that allows me to that still carries with the stamp of how I approach photography as an art for myself, which is a lot different from other people. It's more subdued.
Cool. What time are we on?
Sorry.
We have been over 30 minutes, right?
No, 17.
Oh yeah, we got that. No, we're good. No. I just want to make sure we're not at 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because I told you this has to be under 30 minutes. That's intentionally.
Okay.
The shooting of it under 30
Well, hopefully
minutes.
you could cut all my.
No, I'll be cutting, but what I'm saying is I don't want to go over 30 minutes, period.
Okay,
regardless.
understood.
Okay, so that was 6 to 7 years ago. You realized what it was with the Galaxy, that you could do better.
Yeah.
All right, so now in just a short 6, 7 years, that's not a lot of time.
No.
It's a that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I want you to brag for a moment.
Okay.
Because let's say that was out of 5.
That was what?
Let's say that was out of 5.
That picture?
Okay, 0 to 10. 0 to 10. All right. 13 years ago, you were at a 1 or 2.
Okay.
We're just going to say that the Galaxy was at a 5.
We're just gonna say that.
We're just going to say that.
Yeah.
Because in 6 or 7 years, you have blown that picture out of the water.
Yeah.
Okay? So where would you consider yourself to be at now? And if that's over 10, that's fine. So where would you say you
could be over 10?
100%. And exponentially, because you've grown dramatically within 5, 6, 7 years. Mm-hmm. Dramatically. So what number would you say you'd be at now?
I think it's a complicated question.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I think technical aspect as far as like light and stuff.
Okay.
I put myself at a 10. I think like I'm as good as anybody that works in commercial photography with my understanding of light and how to use it, how to manipulate it to express yourself. I think that as an artist, we're always still growing. And again, like my point of view of being a photographer as an artist is different than how other people look at it. And I hope I'm able to explain that. I don't think that people understand the point of view. But lighting and understanding is a 10. As a photographer and creating art for how other people understand it, an 8. As how I understand it, a 15.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Okay, last question. Everybody always says, okay, well, what's next for you, and yada, yada, yada. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years, whatever? Okay, that's fine. I want to know, so it's 2024 or whatever, I want to know, in your mind, what do you want to accomplish by the end of this year?
By the end of this year?
This year, not 5 years down the road. In 11 months,
yeah.
What would you like to have done, or where do you want to see yourself?
In this photography space, nothing.
Period, actually. Because you've already, because I know you into some things, you want to do some things even outside of photography.
Yes.
So it can touch on anything.
Okay.
It can touch on anything.
By the end of the year, I'd like to have had more interesting stories about my art and photography, and as far as like who I have worked with, and companies that I've been able to represent branding wise through makeup and hair. Would like to have an award or two under my belt. But outside of having a camera in my hand, I'm really passionate about creatives and the process of creating, and the relationship of being a creative with an individual, the process of being a creative. And I have something that I'm working on that I hope will come into fruition with that, which would be the start of my legacy at the end of like 20 years when I'm dead or old. This thing that I'm working on is what I get to leave.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, and give me just a teaser of what that is.
It is an organization, a company that I'm working on that caters towards creatives, MICE. It is merely inspiring creative energy. That's the acronym. A lot of people know me as Hot MICE Photography, but this represents the acronym itself and inspiring that. Just very quick, it's about teaching, fellowship, and spreading the word about creatives and artists in all aspects: photography, videography, cooking, acting, everything. A few things we'd be able to do through this organization is galleries for artists, networking events for artists to potential clients, and teaching kids and adults about their passion, or helping them find their passion in whatever medium that they decide to go through.
All right, cool. I was wrong. Last question. One more question. What advice would you give to anyone wanting to get started? Or even if somebody's already in it and they want to know how to go to the next level, whatever you want to call
it. To start, well, first you have to start. And starting doesn't always mean being in a studio. While that's what you want to do, some people want to start photography and don't have a studio to get into. Some people want to start photography and don't have a camera. But that doesn't mean you can't start. I started by studying, you let me borrow a good camera, you know. And before that, I had the very entry level one, but I did less shooting and more studying. But that's a start. Everybody's start is different. So to start, and I think it's easier said than done to find that clear path and what you want to do. But in order to find a path, you have to just start doing stuff. You have to start experimenting with that thing. If your art is photography, then shoot. Know why you do it. And I'm trying not to talk.
I like
too
that.
much.
Know why you do it.
Know why you're doing it, because you can get lost in looking at someone else's work, and then you copying what they're doing. But I understand why they're doing it. If you understand why you do it, then it's different. And really quick, my entry into photography was one thing, right? Then my focus in photography is another, and why I do photography, why I kept learning photography was a completely different thing. Photography for me was a thing that I could do, that I could control. As much as I studied and applied what I studied, I saw the results. I got good really fast. Whether I got accolades for actually working with celebrities or not, which I didn't, but my growth was there. It was something I could control. But what I appreciate specifically about portrait and beauty photography is, you know how a landscape photographer shoots a mountain or skyline, thank you, because it's beautiful to them. That is how I look at portraiture. The woman, mostly, because I don't portrait, but I can shoot men. But the women that I choose to pick, that I create, that they're the art piece already, or the makeup artists I work with. They're the artists are, those are the landscapes for me. And then I shoot it and impose my lighting on how I feel about them.
Cool.
As opposed to creating something out of nothing. Excellent. Which was most photographers do, which is fine. Okay. But my medium is different.
Cool.
So I understand that, and I'm able to flourish in that. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
It's a passionate thing. I love.
No worries.
So.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate yours. Thank you. This is dope.
Should we clap to synchronize the cameras? I don't know if you already did that. Okay.
It's fine.